Hello and welcome to the live stream. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try a mirror card here, and we're going to do it with the palms with huts over like a little bay or something like that. And we're going to be stamping out the palm huts on this rainbow holographic cardstock, and the idea is to have it reflected down here in the water area on gold foil. I really like that beautiful combination like that, how that rainbowy rainbow holographic reflects in that gold surface down there. I think it's just so rich. Hello, Kay. How are you today? All right, so let's give this a shot. I always say this, and then I forget that I say it after like 3 hours of a video, but this shouldn't be too long of a project right here. All right, so okay, what we're doing here, and if anyone else is on, what we're going to do is we're going to stamp this Seaside Cove out using some of the Stays On Black ink. And let me see if I can get this. I haven't been using Stays On for very long, so I'm not used to using it and how fast you have to use it. And I haven't brayered with it before, so you'll have to give me a little bit of leeway if this does not come out, because I'm going to try my brayer technique like this on here. All right, and I don't know if it'll come out because I don't know if I'm working fast enough. Okay, so I've laid that down like this. Sometimes I think this is easier for people than taking stamp to paper, because it's just such a huge stamp. This one's the larger one. You can always use the smaller one too, and that'll be much easier, but I just wanted to use this large one. I don't know if it's been used somewhere by some other people, but I've been getting some orders for it lately, so I was thinking there might be some, oh, that came out just fine. There might have been someone that used it recently. So there it is right there, okay? And that's the way I use this stamp most of the time, because most of the times I'm not doing a card that's this large. You know, I don't work on full-size scenes that often. So I see it as left side usage, you know, right side usage, center, which I just did right now, and then I also see it used like this a lot. Just for this portion up here, I've been seeing it stacked sometimes, like this portion of it, and then stacked again down here, like a continual, yeah, or a continuous, you know, area of water. Could be a river, could be, you know, a larger ocean where you get more of those waves. And then when you stack like this portion of it like this, it brings this area out here closer to us. So this area in the distance here where it gets really flattened represents a farther area of the design. So if you just stack this portion, you can have, you know, a much closer area at this distance from the bottom, if that makes sense. Okay, so hello PJB Stamper, hello Candy, Kay, Sandy, good to see you all. Hope you're having a great day. I am going to try and do a couple things, a little bit of a extension, I guess, on the experiment from, I don't know, what it was like 2 days ago or something like that with this piece. I really enjoyed doing this piece right here. It's kind of funny because when I came back in, I thought, oh, I need to photograph that. So when I had the lights off, I thought, oh, that looks even better. You know, if it's really kind of, I can't shut off. If I shut off my lights right now, my camera would shut down because it's plugged in. But this thing right here looked really cool in the dark because it was just reflecting just the light. But it was interesting because this white blocks out that silver portion. So it was light on the sides, which is the opposite of how it looks with illuminated like this. So some people were asking, hey, is that the same scene? And it was kind of interesting because it's the reflected portion is the opposite in light or darks. I don't know. I find that really fun. I didn't even think about it, but someone made the comment on Facebook because I posted the, the two photographs side by side. So anyway, hello, Jolene. Good to see you, Bugs. Good to see you. If anyone else is on, thanks for joining in. All right, so I'm going to stamp this onto my Rainbow Holographic. I'm trying to I don't know if the word isn't remedy, but I'm trying to streamline. Okay, I'm trying to streamline a lot of the processes that I've been kind of trying to figure out on things like foils. Okay, so the biggest thing right now is the StazOn ink. I don't know, you know what I mean? I'm kind of lazy, so I haven't wanted to work on StazOn because I was, kind of thinking about the cleanup process, but I find the cleanup isn't too bad, and I don't have to use StazOn cleaner because I don't even have it. So I just used water and it comes right off. I don't know, it comes right off my stamps just fine. I don't know if it, comes off of every type of rubber. There's different types of rubber. I think you're not supposed to. Are you not supposed to use StazOn with clear, like any type of clear stamps? I don't know. That's what I heard. Okay. All right. Thanks for joining in, Pam. All right, so I'm stamping this down here too. I'm not really going to use this impression. I'm going to be cutting out the this portion of it, the open portion, and I'm going to be coloring it on the paper and then pasting it on that one. So that remedies this transparent aspect of the huts in here. Okay, when you see something like this is Rainbow Holographic, by the way, if you just joined in. I don't want all those colors within my form. I mean, you could. I mean, it looks okay like that too, I mean, it looks pretty cool, I think. Like something like that, and you can, stamp a couple things down here, stamp a quote out here, and this is, I don't know, like a 5-minute card at most. You just glue these things down or tape them down, and that's really fast. But I want to kind of tweak this a little bit. I want to add other colors into the forms here, into the huts. So I'll just cut that portion out and I'll just paste it right over the top of that, and then we'll have a little bit of contrasting textures and reflectiveness, etc. So that should be really fun. I don't know if it looks good. Yeah, so that should be good if it isn't terrible. All right. So anyway, and then I here on this is just on some white cardstock too, so I can really tweak this one. Like one of the things I like doing is I like adding a little bit of light for interior illumination within the windows there. Anytime you do something like that on in structures, it becomes kind of a little bit more of a welcoming type of imagery. If it's nighttime and you see light in a structure somewhere across the way, you're drawn to that. Be it whatever emotionally. Even more so if it's maybe like a horror movie. Okay, so anyway. Okay, so this is on some matte cardstock here. And I'm doing this on here because I can go into this and I can color with colored pencils. Or any, whatever I want to. I don't find that alcohol pens, the way that I use alcohol pens, I don't use it too heavy. So I know that alcohol and StazOn, it could put the StazOn back into solution, but I use it very lightly, so it's not really a problem. So, okay, so dye-based inks, alcohol inks, and colored pencils, chalks, you can use chalks or something like that on there too. Okay, so no StazOn cleaner on clear. Okay, that makes sense. You don't want that solvent just kind of going straight onto the clear, onto that poly material. Not much of a difference between the Posca paint pen ink and the okay. I like the Posca tips better. Good to know, good to know. As far as the ink goes, okay, thank you, Joy. Yeah, that's what we always wanted. So Joy brought out. I think we'd asked you that in a previous live. So the thing that I want to know with what Joy was saying there is, I'm always curious to know the pigment to binder ratio on things like markers and pens and things like that. We want as rich a application of media as possible, and some media out there are just, they're watered down, it seems, in comparison to others. Now sometimes it could be good, like in a situation like the paint pens, the acrylic paint pens out there. One of the things is if they are too thick with the pigment to binder ratio, in this case it's water because they're, acrylics are water based, I would guess that can contribute potentially to media markers drying and clogging. So they, you want it, you don't want things so dense that there would be a danger of that. So, but you want it as maximum as possible, in terms of you want the colors as rich as possible, in other words, okay? And that's what I want to know from, I don't know, brand to brand. Some manufacturers too. There's a lot of this stuff that's coming out of I guess that I don't know this for sure, but I speculate that they're all coming out of the same factory, just with different labeling on it. And then these different manufacturers, they're not really manufacturers, they're branders, because they're not really officially manufacturing them. But I have a feeling that they are just, they order their colors that they want. That's the same with a lot of the different pads out there too. Pad manufacturers. I'm not saying this is a bad thing too, because sometimes if you have, kind of more centralized types of manufacturing, they can invest more in the different types of equipment and media and things like that to give you better quality types of things. And say the manufacturers, they just put together their, their order for what types of colors they want, and or they customize their colors, and that plant will make them for them. And but as far as that pigment to binder ratio, that it's basically the same, because that that company, that manufacturer, has done a lot of tests over time, and they've gotten a lot of feedback, and they it's like, oh hey, this pen is clogging on me, so so they tweak their that ratio a little bit. Maybe they water it down a little bit more, and then they get what's right, before they start I don't know, getting complaints or something, you know what I mean? Stuff like that, getting feedback on that. So sometimes that is the case when it comes to something like that. So I don't know, I don't know where that Posca and that Lan Ren Wang, I can't pronounce that brand. I don't know where all that stuff's coming from, But it's I'm telling you, there's no way those places are like a mom and pop garage for for each brand, in terms of making something like that. There's just too much that goes into that type of pen manufacturing. Although I do know one company that used to mix their own, and it was alcohol inks with Studio 2, and there was a lot of inconsistencies sometimes with that. All right, so anyway, thank you so much. That is good to know. I will file that away in my memory, because I have been curious about that. Hello, Linda. Great to see you. People haven't, if people aren't on Facebook, or if you are on Facebook, check out Linda's latest sequential large format piece on I don't know, what do you call it, Linda? What was that again? It was the it's like the cycle of of a beaver or something like that. Really fantastic sequential pieces. One of the things about scenic stamping that really opens things up for us, utilizers of, nature designs is it really opens up a lot of things in terms of, I do a lot of single cards and whatnot, but there's a lot of opportunity for sequential pieces. I can do this scene, well, not this scene right here in the tropics, I guess you can do different times of day, seasons. I guess you can do like hurricanes or something like that. It's the hurricane season where this is nighttime. But you can do like you can do the same composition, put it in different settings. You can do a sunset scene with this. I could do a midnight scene with this. I can have a full moon up here. I can have, the rainbow holographic in the background or something like that. You can do all kinds of things, and you can have these sequences. It could be a triptych or something like that where it's designed where you can kind of see all of these different elements all at once, immediately. Or you can do a piece that's, more sequential as it's more like a narrative book or something like that. And I'm saying this because Linda just did a really amazing one. Yeah, go check that out, right? Linda, you need to post that on, like Flickr or something like that, so people that aren't on Facebook can see these pieces. All right, so I'm going in here, and yes, the alcohol ink is merging with the stays on here. It didn't the other day, but maybe because I had a thicker layer of the colored pencil down. Okay, so this is where this is going to go. I'm not done with this colored pencil yet, though. But this will be over the top of the area down here. So it's one of those things, again, I'm going to have to try to merge this in with, in this case, the rainbow holographic. I don't think it should be as much of a big thing as this one was on silver, because I have all these trees around this one. This one's just going to go right down at the bottom, so there's going to be a whole different section down here, unlike if I was merging this onto a continuous piece of foil down here that's just going to be flat. Okay, it's going to be purposely, at an angle like this where it changes this area anyway. So see this right in here where the huts are reflecting down here. That's where the interior lighting will show up better, because I can't really see the huts down here as much. But if you put like a illumination in there, it'll show up a lot better, or it should, because there'll be more contrast between the huts and that area down here. I mean, this could have been in silver too, but I think the big star of the thing is going to be rainbow holographic in gold. That's, the colors are the big star of this piece. The imagery is kind of more, I don't know, subservient to the just that foil combination. All right. So that being said, Linda, Linda, you're subscribed, right? Do you have the notifications bell on? I'd hate for you to be like checking on to see if I'm on here. Just click on the notifications bell. I don't know if that's how, is that how, yeah. Kay gets notifications. You have to click on the bell, I think. I don't know. I mean, it would help if I scheduled, but I don't know. I'm doing other things, and it's like, I jump on when I can, a lot of times. With this one right here, I couldn't stand it anymore, and it's like this construction was going through my head, and I had to get over to the desk here. Okay, so adding a little bit of shading down below here as well. Okay. You don't have to be too careful, about a lot of this. These mirror card constructions are really, they are. A lot, like I said, it really becomes about the that reflection portion of it. So like, I'm not fussy anyway when it comes to little things that are going on, but it's like even less so with this type of thing. All right, let's see. Did someone ask someone here something here? Oh, I'm sorry, Yvette. Yeah, someone answered you right here. Thank you. What ink are you using to stamp the? Okay, yeah. Okay, so Yvette, I just use the stays on, especially on the foil portions. Okay, or there's two types of inks that I know of that you can use. So it's solvent style inks, i.e., something like a stays on. I could have stamped this one in anything else, stays on or a dye-based ink. Okay. The dye-based inks, I would have been able to use the alcohol markers, the stays on right here. I don't know, just quick drying, and I don't have to worry about it. Oh, wait, you did post on Flickr. Okay, not the Journey of the Beaver yet. Give us your do a quick link of your Flickr address, Linda, and post it here in the chat. Yeah. Okay, Yvette, I'm not using glossy here. This one's more of a little matte-ish. It's a semi-gloss, okay, but you can see it's like close to, here's like a copy, just copier paper right here. It's very close to that. As opposed to, a glossy, which, where is my glossy? I normally have a ton of glossy around me. Yeah, so you can see, the differences here. You know what I mean? Here's glossy, and here's the I already forgot the name. White-coated silk. Okay. It doesn't even look very satiny, though. Okay, so anyway, adding this in like so. Let's get to this. Trying to anchor this down a little bit more in terms of shading. I could tweak it after I get it laid down too. No problem. Let's get a little bit more. Let's get a little bit more yellow into this, I think. Okay. This kind of thatched, I don't know, whatever, grass roofing here. The yellow here will kind of match the gold down here a little bit more too. Okay. All right. All right, so that is that. Like I said, I'll tweak it a little bit more going forward here, but okay, so if you just joined in, one of the things I'm doing is I think this looks pretty cool as is if you just stamp your image right onto the rainbow holographic foil. You can do this on any color. This could have been on blue or something like that. You can put full moon up there. Silver, I don't know. I don't know if I'd like the silver idea of that. It could be okay though. But if you have all kinds of other colors of foil, orange would have been cool. I don't know, sunset type of scene or something like that up there. But okay, so if you just stamp it like that, you have all those colors just showing right through that image. And again, I don't think that's any problem or something like that, but I just want those objects in there. I've done it like this before, and I've kind of done some block out. I've just added some white down before I stamped it out too. But if I do that, it's hard to shade it, okay? So what I've done in the past is I've added the Brilliance white pigment ink, which dries on foil. I've laid it down on my paper and then stamped that on top. And then what you see is what you get, because you can't really... Well, you can add a little bit of black brilliance over the top of it, but you can't really model things, real specifically like that back into the brilliance inks down there, okay? So that's why I'm trying this one out. I'm doing like another version of this where you stamp, you know, your imagery out on to your open area of imagery out onto white card so I can just paste it on the foil. So let's just cut this out right here. Okay. I don't think I need to be too careful about it because I've already stamped this on here and I'm just going to try to match that up with this image right here anyway. So I don't think I need to be careful about it. Let me see. Let me not be careful about it, and then if I need to be a little bit more careful, I'll, you know, I'll do some more detailed trimming. So it's just like that, all right? See that right there? And then that I'll put down, right? I'll just try to match up the forms right here. And, you know, black will match up with black, so it just looks like that now. All right. It's a little bit off over here, so I need to shade that in, but that's good enough for me. Okay, so yeah, and see that right down there? See how those huts now, those rooftops, you know, they show up down there a little bit more. I don't know. From a textural standpoint and color. I don't know, that shows up. See, it blends in right there a little bit more. You know what I mean? It's not as defined, I think, as you can get with those colors like that. That looks, I mean, that looks more dimensional to me now. I guess it's because it is dimensional. It's sticking out, but it's not sticking out that much. Okay, so let's see. PJB, it really isn't compatible with alcohol markers, as I knew that, but I don't know. I did the alcohol on this one. I couldn't really tell anything was going on, but I think it's because I already had a lot of the dye-based inks already applied, so it didn't smear it as much. This one's smearing like crazy. So you could do stays on. You could spray seal it and then go on with alcohol markers, I think, if you want to do something like that. But yeah, it does react. I was getting a lot of smearing here, so I just added more of that colored pencil in there. So I don't know, you know, try things too. There's a lot of incompatibilities out there, all right, with different types of media. But there might be tweaks, you know. It might be incompatible to an extent. Okay, I'm going to cut this out a little bit more careful after I saw that. I mean, it looked okay, but let me just get, I mean, this is going to take like, you know, a couple seconds here. Okay, so that is that. Let's just use our crafter's tape here. Let's see. Glad the kid is doing well. Froggy Fresh. Hello, Froggy Fresh, by the way. And hello. If anyone else has joined in, if I missed you, hello to you. Thanks for joining in here. Let's see. I used that earlier, and when I used my alcohol markers on glossy paper, it smeared. Did you stamp out your imagery with the stays on then, you're saying, Yvette? And that would, yeah. Hello, Diana. Yeah, that will smear, so watch out for that. If it was alcohol markers on that glossy. Okay, let's see here if I can get this to merge in. Here's that rock right there. Okay. All right, close enough, I think. All right, now let's see. I thought I added some more color down here. I don't know, it's like disappeared or something. All right, let's see. Let's add some tone right in here to those rocks. I'll add in some additional like mist or something like that in here, and I'm trying to think of what else we'll do. Maybe some brilliance ink down here. Sometimes I want a little bit more of a darker transition at the base where this top card goes into this one right here like that. Boy, look at that look at that arc in the background. It's almost like a little rainbow. You never know what you're gonna get with those colors like that. And this is like perfect for like a quote up here. A lot of times I don't leave room for a quote. And then we'll put some foreground in here. So anyways, you can see the different colors when this is being reflected into the gold. Oh, so this is gold down here, and before I tack this down, by the way, there's the Seaside Cove stamped, if you guys didn't see that portion, but this is the gold and this is the silver, like this, okay? To me, that silver, I don't know, that silver to me, with this one right here, that looks a little anemic to me after looking at it with the gold. It's just so much warmer, don't you think? And I guess this is too. This is reflecting on this, and this is reflecting back on here too. Oh, so that's what that is right there. Okay, so that area right in here, this little halo, I think it's the gold reflecting back up into here. Okay, so that's why I put this in here. Okay, so this isn't being affected as much by having it on the cardstock instead. So you see what, I mean? I mean, you can do it both ways. One way is like really fast. I don't think this is like, takes a long time either, but look how dimensional that is. That almost looks like it's sticking out from the background now to me. All right, but anyways, that's what I'm going for. We're going for depth, right? You know, in a lot of different scenarios. Okay, let's see here. Froggy Fresh is making some insane junk today. That sounds like fun. That's the key words for fun there. Insane and yeah. Okay, let's see. Can't seem to log into my Flickr account. Okay. What the heck's going on there? Well, you can look up, if you go to Flickr, Linda, you can just look up whatever your name is on Flickr. Just go to, you don't need to log into it. Just go to it. And, you know, you can do the search window. Just type in, you know, in the Bystrom, if that's what your Flickr name is. And then, you know, copy it from there. You don't have to be logged on. If you can. If you can't do that, no big deal. But I want everyone to see those pieces, too. That beaver sequence. And then see Linda. I don't know, check out all of Linda's work, but check out her sequential piece on that fire and kind of rebirth and everything like that, you know. Froggy Fresh is on there, too. With her account. Awesome stuff. If anyone else has got, you know, some, you know, galleries out there that are accessible and whatnot, or, you know, post it in the chat window. Hello, Jeannie. Good to see you. Okay, so adding some additional tone down here. And let's see. Let's go with... I didn't use enough black down here. Okay, let's go with a little bit more black. I'm being a little bit too conservative down here. Let's just go right into this right down here. Okay, let's create a little bit more contrast in here. Like that, and then I'm kind of dirtying this up right here a little bit because I want that white that I add into the windows to stand out more than what it would now, because there's not very much contrast in here. So let's get that down. And let's go with, okay, let's see. My white paint pen. I should try my oil-based white paint pen down here. I wasn't quite sure if what was more opaque, the acrylic paint pen or the oil-based paint pen. You know, acrylics are water-based, so when I was testing those out the other day, that new paint pen set, I wasn't quite sure. I thought the oil-based would be more opaque for sure, but I don't know. The acrylics held up pretty well against it. Let's see. I looked around a stamp away for a trestle. Only stamp... Oh. Huh. Didn't see... Trestles are tough, you know, these days. There used to be so many other... I don't know. We keep saying this. I don't want to keep saying, you know, but like, hey, back in the old days, you know, there used to be so much, but it was so true. You can find so many different types of imagery. I think a lot easier. Okay, so there's some windows there. Let me get that kind of. Yeah, so wait a minute. Stamp Away was this last weekend then? I guess it was, right? Or wait, yeah. It was, right? So that, let me see. So how was Stamp Away? And at Stamp Away, how many floors are there at Stamp Away in terms of the vendor area? Are there 2 floors there still? When I first started doing Stamp Away, I don't know, back in the 90s, I think it was 1 floor, and I thought that bottom floor area came in later. Okay, I'm scratching into these windows a little bit. I'm going to put a little bit of a, like that, I don't know, what do you call it? That little grid thing in there, in that window area. I forget what you call it. I should know that. All right, so that is that. Oh, that's not enough contrast, like, at all here. Yeah, I like the gold better too, Debbie. It's like so much richer, isn't it? I don't think I'd like the gold on everything, but on this one with that rainbow holographic, it is definitely more, I don't know, rich, I guess? All right, let's see. Going into this, adding more shadow work, okay. All right. I'm tweaking my windows. I never did so much window work. All right. All right. So that is that. I might hit it with a little bit more tone too. Okay, so that's how that looks like that. That really stands out from the background quite a bit. Okay, so let me start blending that in. Or should I glue this down at this point in time? It's not dark enough for me yet. I want it darker. So I'm always trying to balance it out. You know, we can look at something like this and it might look fine, but we want to look at it in context like this. Okay? So I know what we need to do here. Let me take, I'm going to add in these palm trees over here. And we'll add some more on this side as well, okay? All right, so let's see. They had classes downstairs, but the vendors were all on the main floor. Okay, so there's 1 floor of vendors now. Got it. Got it. Oh, Linda, yeah, just do it next time. Yeah. Linda, is your Flickr account under your name? I mean, we can all look it up that way too. Yeah, but check out that Beaver series. Yeah, Kay's seen it. The classes downstairs, but the vendors were all on the main floor. Oh, wait. PJB, were the classes still at that hotel across the street as well as downstairs, or are they having it all at the convention center now? Okay, let me see here. Okay, now right here, that hut is right there, so I don't know if I want another hut there. I'll snap it a little bit lower this way. I might get a little bit of it on there like that. Okay, so we'll go like this, and then I'm going to anchor this portion down with a little bit of tone, okay? That transition area. That's what I'm usually doing in these mirror cards. I find that if you have a little bit of a darker area down here where it transitions into whatever kind of color of foil you have down here, I think it looks a little bit more, I wouldn't say graceful, but I don't know. Maybe that is the word. I don't know. It transitions a little bit easier than just having that stark, you know, whatever you have up here, another scene or something down here. You create a little bit of that, I don't know, darkness. Like a fade in, fade out type of thing happens in there. Okay, so I'm going to do that with the Brilliance here. Okay, so the Brilliance inks. We'll have to heat set that. I'm not going to use very much of it this time. So I just said that, but now that I'm looking at this, I might want a vignette up here too. Okay, so I'll do that. Maybe I'll do that after I paste it down though, but we'll get this bottom portion going like this. Okay. I'm still learning my sequencing when it comes to a lot of these different types of constructions. See, what I was thinking about doing is adding a little bit of a vignette up here, but I have to, you know, tape this down to this piece right here first, so less handling the better of the Brilliance ink on here. All right. Okay, so let's see, adding this down like so. I'll come into the huts as well a little bit, like about like that. Okay, kind of dry brush it in there. All right, so it goes like that, and let's go a little bit. I'm trying to decide if I want to come in here with some of that ink in here too. I'm just going to leave it real basic. I might have done a little bit too much of that Brilliance ink down here. So it's easy. Brilliance ink is really fantastic. All I have to do is dab back into that like that, and it comes right off, okay? You can still take it off the foil even after it dries. That's why you have to heat set and spray seal down there, okay? So see this right here? Yeah, that looks good right in here. So it's just a little bit of a tinge of that down there, okay? All right. Let's see. Let's get this anchored down too with the imagery. I'm going to go with this right down here, something nice and bold. Oh, I just thought I could put like that surfer down here or something like that. Huh. Oops. Stays on instead. See, I'm still used to using the Brilliance ink on here. Okay. For those that don't know, the Brilliance is a water-based, you know, quick drying pigment ink. Where did the cap go? Here we go. For it. It was designed to dry on glossy cardstock. But that is a porous surface where something like foils are very non-porous, okay? There might be some porousness to the Recollections one, but not really to this mirrored, kind of chromed out gold, you know, silver, the red ones sold by Craft Boutique. All right, so I had been using Brilliance on, you know, with a lot of my foil scenes, but I have since, I don't know, I've converted to stays on, you know. Maybe there's no going back for me on that one. Just in terms of the ease of handling on foil, you know, maybe I should have been using it all along, but I didn't want to. I didn't feel like using StazOn cleaner. So when I found that I didn't have to, I don't know. I just never I never bothered trying it before. So it comes to show you, you know, it's what I always say. But when it came to StazOn, I didn't really try it because I just assumed it was going to be like using a Sharpie marker type of ink on my stamps. I didn't want that. Okay, so this one right here, there's going to be a little bit of a... I don't have a left and right side to this, so this palm tree right here is just growing in a different direction. So we get that. That's my framing down below in the foreground like so. Let's see, like that. I'm always checking for that. Did I block off too much of that, you know, the reflective color area down there? And I think it looks okay like that still. Let's put on a little bit. Let's do some blocking out, though, with some of that white pigment ink on some of those areas down here in that, like that foam down there. I thought it would stand out too much, but I tried something not too long ago, and I thought it came out pretty good. Let's see. PGB had a great time, more to do with the people I met up and than the event itself. PGB, how long have you been going to Stamp Away? How many years have you been doing that? Hello, KT. Thanks for joining in. Good to see you. Okay, so the classes were all in the convention center now. Okay, I got it. The classes for Stamp Away used to be at the hotel. I think they were all at the hotel, unless some were at the store. But I think the store was all store demos at the time. The last time that I went, at least. Which is a really long time ago. Yeah, quite a large vendor area back in the day. Okay, so let's add in, we need a little bit of contrast in here, or a lot of contrast down here. In terms of a little bit of lighting, so I'm going to try to create some sort of lighting pattern like this, but do it within the gold. I didn't think this would look good. The first time I tried it on the foil, I don't know where that piece is. I did it on the foil and I thought, oh, okay, that worked out okay. But sometimes that white and gold finish like that I thought might clash, but I did it in just like a really thin layer and I thought, okay, that harmonized reasonably well. So let's add it down like this, and that really stands out, but we're going to be really blotting that off. So you're just kind of laying it down with the idea of removing a lot of it and blending it in, okay? All right, so this is what it looks like, you know, with a lot of light, but then you see it like that, you know, and it's, you know, it's different at different kind of angles to that, okay? So just get it down wherever you want it to go, and then you just kind of blend it in after that, okay? And if you're, you know, if you're kind of wondering where you add highlights on something like this, they're all in the design. See, these are the lighter portions like this, you know. It's right on the crest of the wave in terms of this, but it could be the same thing with anything. On this one, it represents foam, you know, being illuminated by the light. You can add white pigment ink on tops of, you know, rooftops like that. Okay, maybe it's not like in a dabbing motion like that, but, you know, you sponge it on, you know, with a mask on it or something like that. But that lighting, you can just, you know, you can really manipulate it. And it's one of those things, you know, when people start doing their scenic stamping or whatnot, it's all about composition, coloring, or something like that. But then when they start getting into, when they have all that down, and it could be like, they could have it down like on the same day. But this is where I really think that doing something like this type of look really kind of tweaks their techniques and really it kind of takes it around full circle, and in many ways, because when I'm talking about really full circle, because when I'm designing rubber stamps, I'm using a black pen, okay, and I'm doing all that stipple work and all that type of thing, and then you're using the stamps, and you're using different colors and whatnot, and when you're coming back around, I don't know, maybe it's not full circle, but it's going like, I don't know, you're taking the journey to almost like the full range, because what I'm getting at is like a pen that draws these types of things are a black detailed dot, okay? But this is a soft, application of white. So it's like, kind of the opposite spectrum in many ways, and they're complementing each other like that. And I don't know, just seeing light, I've always speculated that it's using like almost like a different hemisphere, of your brain, just based on kind of observations in my classes before over the years. There's just a different, I don't know, spirit in those classes when everyone starts doing like their little illumination and lighting in there. Okay, so see that right there? So that is that. Let's see what that looks like on here, okay? We'll be adding some tweaks too. And, okay, so see that right there? It's kind of, when you add it like that, and you show this at different angle. Let me see if I can get some different lighting on here for you guys. Okay. Look at, this is kind of really bizarre to me. Every time when I do these mirror cards like this, it's like there's all these different colors. Sometimes there's a different color being reflected than what I see up in this area, which is always kind of interesting to me. It's not always just a mirror kind of version of it. And I guess in this case, maybe because this color is reflecting up here, so I don't know. It's always kind of interesting to me seeing it like that. Okay, so let's take a look down here, and let's look in that water section like that down there. What I'm thinking about too is splatter painting it down that way. I think these cards like this, these mirror cards like this with so much colors and things like that too, are really perfect for kids. If you want to stamp something out, you used to have a cemetery, cemetery in here or something like that, It could be a fun-looking one with a fun ghost or something. You can have a ghost down here. You can have a cutout ghost in this area like that. You can have these kind of different kind of movements like that going up into the sky or something of that sort. Okay, so let's see. Let's get this. I'm still thinking about that server or something like that down there if I want to add that. This might be kind of, we can use our little figure down here. That might be kind of interesting. With that sky up there like that. I forgot what I use this for. This is a 100 proof press, by the way. Okay, let's see here. I use eraser to remove too much brilliance. Eraser, that's interesting, Candy. Oh, this was your first time at Stampaway. Maybe you mentioned that before. That's cool. Oh, you went to Marco's is... Where is Marco's in relation to Stampaway? That's not close, right? Or is that from where you live? Is that like on the way or something like that? They opened the store on... Oh, okay. I wasn't aware that Marco's was anywhere close to Stampaway. Stays on again after years. Stains, so I have to... Oh, okay, you got to use the cleaner. Mine, I don't know, maybe my stamp was dirty with a bunch of dye-based ink, so when I used the Stays on over the top of it, maybe it didn't penetrate that dried dye-based ink, upon my initial kind of cleaning, so it came right off. Okay. All right, let's see. I think I might use this little guy down here. Or, let's see. Here's my little surfer like this. He might be... I need the bigger one, though. This guy's... Yeah, this guy's way too small. This guy's like almost in... This guy might be in, like in scale for that. Yeah, it might be kind of interesting. Let's do that right here. I need to do some other types of imagery within my pieces, too, for my bio swap. It's a... They call that by invitation only scenic swap, which I don't contribute to enough. Okay, I'm not going to do splatter painting on here. I want to control this one. Okay, so let me just, I'm going to stamp this guy out and it stays on. Again, this is 100 proof press. This one is 4778. I want to use this guy. I was telling Linda, if Linda's still on, I want to use this guy with this type of setting like this. I want to do a volcano scene, but using like a road or a stream like that. But then the stream or the road is going to be the red foil, like a lava coming from the base of a mountain. But that lava is going to be the like super reflective red area or something like this. I don't know, maybe this guy can be off to the side or something like that. You know, like conjuring the, you know, the, I don't know, whatever, the fire spirits or something like that. Of course, we need to figure out some usages for the, for red foil, you know, because we have, you know, I don't know, that pack came with 60 sheets, so there's a lot of it. It was just so inexpensive, you know. I feel like getting some of it. Okay, so hopefully this guy stamps over the Brilliance ink, you know, because again, that Brilliance ink really isn't adhered to the surface, so I don't want to like lift this up and where I stamped over the white, it like, you know, adhered to the white and then the white just came right off, you know, missing portions of this image. I really haven't had too much of that problem with that, you know. But a little bit. Okay, so I stamped him over that top, so I'm going to remove some of that white within his cape like this. All right. Have a good time with your hubby. 30 miles north, okay. Huh. Stamp conventions are fun. All right, I know you guys can't see this very well, but that's that little guy stamped right down there. I can see him with the right reflection on there. Adding some highlights into the water section like this, okay? Coming off the crest of the wave, they call that the spindrift. I wonder if I should color that figure a little bit. Let me come into there. I'm going to remove some of that white ink that's kind of in the background there. There were some open areas on this figure. It's a little bit easier if he's kind of in silhouette. But let's see here. All right. Like that. It's a little bit busy, isn't it? Oh, I know it's missing right here. Okay, so this was the thing I'm looking at. So I added in the highlights down here. It's the shading that's needed underneath the waves more than the highlights, I think. That will balance that off. That's a really good angle for that. Those are the colors that we're always looking for in making sunsets or something like that, you know? And it's just nice to have it kind of inherently in the paper, you know, than having to create it with like dye-based inks or something like that. Plus this changes. Look at that. It's like, I don't know, like an Aurora Borealis or something like that. I don't know, maybe this is too busy for it down here with the Seaside Cove. I don't know. I could have just left it open without the Seaside Cove and then just put in these palms down here, and it would have just this really reflective area down there. But we'll see how this goes. I still do that. Actually, let me see what that would look like. Let me see if I have another piece of gold here, a pre-cut. Let me see like this. We might change it up here. That hut looks so much better, just kind of clear of that. And then I can use this for a different thing. You know, it'd be funny if you made like a card or something like that where, I've mentioned this before, where you'd have these different things. I guess you can do a different thing where it's a different base or a different top, and you can just switch it out. You know, it's like interchangeable surface or something like that. Okay, so let me try something right here. We might be changing up. All right. PGB, oh, they took, okay, I was going to ask them how many days they went for to stamp away. And if they still, does anyone know if Stamp Away still has that kind of that Friday night preview night? They used to have this Friday night preview night thing where you go, they would have it like a theme, and people would dress up in theme oftentimes. I mean, they would encourage the vendors to do that, but I never did that. First of all, because, you know, we were already traveling, and I didn't want to have to take like an extra thing of clothes or something like that, because, you know, of space considerations. But those Friday night preview nights were always pretty fun. I don't think they did that early on. I think that's something they added over time. Okay, let's see. We'll go with 3. So go 3 on that side, 2 on that side. They always say that kind of composition in odd numbers or something like that is kind of... I don't know if it's more unbalanced, or I don't know, it's just something to that. All right, let's take a look here. All right, I think that looks a little bit better. It's not so busy. God, that tone right in there is really awesome behind there. I need to shade it in a little bit more on the rooftops, I think. But that looks better, huh? Look at that, looks so much better on the horizon too. It was too busy. It was interfering with the like I said, the main thing is that is the colors here. So, yeah. All right. Oh, you were thinking about that lava, huh, Linda? You know what, Linda, maybe we can do something where it's like rainbow holographic top reflecting in red or something like that. So we were talking about the red. Let's see what the... that doesn't reflect down there at all. The lava... This red is just too red for that. It doesn't reflect too much, but, you know... If you can have the... Depending on what colors are reflecting in the red... You know, you can create some kind of movement with it, maybe. All right, so let's get these things, laid down here, and then we'll do our kind of our final kind of tweaks on this piece right here. I'm going to add in like a quote stamp, I think, and we'll see if we need to refine our lighting. And we'll see if, you know, we'll see if the huts look better, you know, if anyone's on still, from that beginning to the end, where you saw the palms with huts just you know, stamped directly onto the rainbow holographic. Like I said, you can do that, and I think it looks, you know, I think it looks pretty good. And we'll see if this these ones stamped on the cardstock look a little bit more dimensional. I think one thing for sure, I think they look more dimensional that way. For sure. All right, let's see. Okay. Did you see that where I like stuck that down? This is like totally bent right there, but it creates that little rainbow. Is Froggy Fresh still on? Froggy, you know, did that rainbow. I was thinking that little bent area of the rainbow holographic just made this like arcing curve for a rainbow. I was going to say that might work. I just laid that down, and it's like this stuff like grabs like really fast and instantly. Okay, let's take a look at this right here. Let's see that. Okay. Looks okay. All right. I'm doing a little refinements, just, I don't know, I'm taking a look at the lighting. Here's the thing about these mirror cards, okay? When I do something like this, I'm kind of gauging it how it looks just as is, but when you do this, it changes it a little bit because I have all this light that's kind of reflecting off of this back into this. So it's like putting like a spotlight back in here. So, you know, if this was the main way that someone's going to be viewing this card like this, you have to compensate a little bit more. So I'm I'm having to darken it more than what I thought I would have to, because I'm just used to looking at it like that, you know, without all that reflected light back into it. You know what I mean? So just adjust accordingly. It just makes things a little bit darker, I think. Or just know that, you know, going into it, if something looks different to you, because, you know, it's because, you know, you got the spotlight kind of, you know, shining back into it a little bit. So I am still learning about stuff like that. I haven't always done foil into foil combinations like this before, so still kind of tweaking that kind of idea. I don't know if they're, you know, they're certainly kind of interesting to do because of the changing nature of it, you know. It just doesn't look the same to me. I mean, this is like gold foil down here, but now, you know, this imagery is being reflected in there like that. And then this gold foil is reflecting back into that, you know. I mean, who knows what that's going to look like until you do it. But look at this glow coming from back in there. It's like interesting. It even changes when I put my finger in front of it like that. There's different lighting. Like over here, it's like red over here now. Okay, so this one, I'm going to do this one for that Corona beer commercial where it's like that little light, you know, they're singing like a, you know, that song or whistling it, and then someone flips on that light. But I'm going to do this one in like this scene right here in blue foil up here over silver foil down here. And there was a darker area down here. It's like a little lagoon. And I was telling someone that posted that on Facebook, I think that would be perfect for the mirror card because this area right here is totally reflecting down here. So, yeah. Anyway, let's see. What, Linda went to, 3 a.m. Linda's in the same time zone as me, so it always cracks me up that when I'm on, like, Facebook at 1 a.m. or something like that, Linda's always on too. You know? Yeah, the floor is lava. They play that in parkour a lot. Linda dreamed of scenes. You might still be dreaming of scenes, Linda, whether you recall them or not, with the compositions I see you coming up with. I think you're working out your scenic combinations in your subconscious or something like that, because you certainly seem to realize them whenever you kind of set out to do it. And I know these things must be taken over the course of, like, you know, at least a couple days. I don't think you can't. I don't know how long that beaver one you know, how long you were working on that one for. Yeah, Chris, the Northern Lights for the rainbow paper is like perfect for that. And plus, the thing about them is they change, you know, depending on the angle for it. So the thing that I do with the rainbow holographic is I add in a lot of the black brilliance in the background so that the, you know, the rainbow holographic shows through. We can do it on this one too. Gosh, should I do it on this one? I can do like little streaks, and then this could be like a Northern Lights type of thing. This thing is really open on the top. That was one of the things that was kind of oh, I don't know. I was thinking about, but I was just thinking about stamping a quote up here and making it like really fast. Yeah, but I don't know. This would be good with the Northern Lights, you know, just to kind of tone it out, you know, around the edge or something like that. Or I can, oh, maybe I'd try kind of more horizontal striations of it up there. But then I don't know. I wanted that quote, but I guess I can do the quote down here too, if I wanted to. All right, now you got me thinking, Chris. Darn you, Chris. You know, Chris, you're coming up with some good ideas. Oh, that burnishing thing, or whoever. I thought you're the one that did that, but yeah, see that little ledge down here? You said to burnish that, and I thought that's going to be perfect for that. Yeah. I have several of the Northern Lights rainbow holographics up in lesson form already. If you just type in Stampscapes on this channel, Northern Lights, probably rainbow or something like that, it'll come up. I think I did 2 or 3 of those ones. It's really, when I'm doing that, it gets so smudgy in there, so I used this brush to kind of go in and add those little curtainy portions to that. But okay, I'm going to try some of that on here. I'm going to go vertical on this one, though. I mean, not vertical, but horizontal. So I'm not going to go for the you know, the thing, but I'm going to try to go for a little bit of a, I don't know, variation up in that sky. But this is the way you would do it, or this is the way that I do it. I'm sure there's different ways to do it, but I'm going to take my Brilliance ink like this. This is it's really sloppy looking, and I have to do it several times. I apply, then remove, then apply, then remove, and I keep going back and forth like that. I haven't done it over the top of StazOn inks, though. So in the past, I would have had to be a little bit, you know, really careful about my application of this over this, because that would have been in Brilliance and it would just wipe off. So, okay, I'm going to try this. Darn, Chris. You know, this is going to be a real fast construction right here, too. Okay, so like I said, it's a lot of removal. I'd say it's, I don't know, for me it's at least like, I don't know, it's been several steps before in terms of addition and removal, and just kind of going back and forth with that. So let's see how it goes, okay? Now, up here, I wouldn't have had to really spray seal it before with the StazOn, but I'll have to do it now, of course, you know, with the Brilliance ink on here. So again, the thing that I'm going for is I'm going for that transition from like that, and I'm doing it from the outside areas like that, okay? So it's almost like, you have to kind of see this almost like I don't know what you would see it as. I see it almost like it's akin to something like sculpture, like clay sculpture, not like marble or something like that, where it's, that subtractive type of process, but something where you can add and subtract. I feel like I'm molding these things a little bit. So see, you go into it like that, but see this, that'll come right off like that. So I come back into it, and then I reveal some of that like that. So it's almost like, I don't know, maybe it's more akin to like something like a malleable scratch board or something like that, where you're adding something on and then removing it. And if you're doing it in black ink like that, you're revealing the lighter colors underneath it like that. And the feel of this, when I start doing this, it's almost like, it feels like I'm kind of manipulating like shoe polish or something like that, like a grease thing on there. This is all water-based ink though, but it feels like you're removing like some sort of oil-based media. That's what it feels like to me. And it feels like you're just kind of smudging and smearing things around. And then if it's Northern Lights, I just kind of build it up darker. I'm trying to think if I have one of those around here somewhere. I think I kept some of I was giving like everything away until I started teaching the classes. Then I had to have some examples like that. But let me see, see, even something like that looks a little bit, kind of more varied, I guess. Actually, I think that looks better like that, huh? I don't know. What do you guys think? If you hate it, don't say that though. If you think it sucks, don't reply. Hey, okay, this looks better too. I think, you know how I went with a darker horizon before? Let me go with a lighter horizon down here, and let's go for a darker kind of cap up top here. Okay, so I'll kind of add a little bit more like this. Okay, let's see. Okay, let me see. How's that look? Let's see. That sky looks a little bit better, doesn't it? I think. Like that. Okay, so here's the scene like that. I'm looking at it down there too, that reflected area. Okay, let's see. Pencil are you shading with? KT... What pencil was... Oh, this one are you talking about? This is just the Prismacolor black, colored pencil there. Are you going to put lights on one of your... No, I'm not doing it on this one, Kay. That one I'm going to do against a much, darker background than the rainbow. The rainbow holographic is a very light color like that, okay? But I want that one to be against like a dark blue or something like that. Shirley wants me to do a video using the Great Wave. Yeah, I'll do that on one of these. I wanted to do that. I wanted to use the entire set, nature set number 5 that has the Great Wave in there. I've been thinking about doing that, so I'll do that sometime. That Netflix game show, The Floor is Lava. I don't... Have I seen that one? Okay, I don't know. That sounds kind of familiar. Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, the Northern Lights will be for it. Let me see if I have that Northern Lights really handy. I have a bunch of things right next to me on the floor here. Okay, I can't find any right away. But if you're not familiar with the these mirror card constructions, I think that looks better in the sky though. But I'm trying to think if I want to stamp that quote down here. This one would be perfect for that quote. What is that? Nature always wears the color. I don't know. Color. There's something about colors on one of those quotes right there. But see, this is, when someone opens up something like this, I think that's like super dynamic like that. But here's some of the, I've been keeping some of these other ones. Here's one using the Greco-Roman set right here. See this right here? I have these columns right here in the foreground like this. But there's that Greco-Roman type of thing. I wanted to do something like that, like, what do you call it? Like a mirror, like a reflection pond in a garden or something like that. This is one of my very first ones, and I think, kind of keeping it... I have a hard time keeping things really simple, but sometimes the more simple is the better. I think this is my first one that I ever did, because then I saw that, and I thought... And then I tried it with an actual just photograph on the top. That card took like, I don't know, like 10 minutes at most, something like that. But this is just adding on the white pigment ink for the clouds in there. Here's the red barn, like that. I don't know, I guess I did do some cutouts like this, but I didn't have to incorporate it in with the background like that. But this is the one that I would do with like that one, that colored background for that palm tree. Maybe this one's, I think, the other blue. Then this one's the blue from the primary set. The blue that I'd probably use for that one that I was thinking about doing was the blue from the Recollections, which is sold at Michael's. It's the jewel tone set blue, which I'm always out of because I always use up that color first. Oh, no, I guess I do have one, but this one right here. So if I stamp out that, that palm, scenario on this one, that, like those highlights in the windows will really stand out. Okay, now this one right here, I stamped out my imagery down here in white, down here, and see how that wording kind of floats around in there. This one right here, it's like I have everyone except the, Northern Lights one. But this one right here, see, I was just thinking about the mirrored reflection of it, and going with as mirrored a surface as possible. This one would look like way better in the gold, than that. So, I wasn't thinking about gold though before because I didn't think it would be as reflective, but the gold would look really great with that. Okay, so this one's really fun here too. And then with the lightning like that, reflecting in that water like so. I really like this one a lot because I've always done lightning before, stamped it right side up and then upside down just on a flat card, but this I thought was really dynamic like that. What's reflecting? There's something reflecting in that. I have some piece of rainbow holographic somewhere. This one right here. And these objects right here, I think these look pretty good like that, but these ones are not cut out, okay? I just stamped them right on top of that silver foil like that, but I did that block out behind there. I blocked it out with some of that same white ink directly onto the silver. I don't know, maybe that's easier to do, I don't know. But, half page scene like this. And, oh, so I did that first red barn, and then I did the second red barn as a follow-up like that. A little bit bigger, slimline card format like that, just so you can get more imagery on there, and it kind of makes a little bit more of a statement. This one's like my refined version of that first experiment there. Oh, okay. Now these ones are just on foil. So there's that blue foil just with white ink. Okay. These ones aren't mirrored cards, but if you guys haven't seen these before. And the mirror cards, because these aren't mirror cards, I was able to use the crystals on it. These cards like this take like, I don't know. You can mass produce these. A card like this can take, I don't know, all in all, under 10 minutes, 5 minutes if you're mass producing. So foil, foil, foil. Yeah. But I do think that these mirror cards add that extra kind of element of, I don't know, kind of movement and dynamics like that. And especially if you're using something like the rainbow holographic right there. Gosh, do I want that? My big dilemma is, do I want that? I guess I could stamp a quote up here in black, but I don't know. Would that look? Would that not look good up there? Or I would stamp it in white down here, but then that would interfere with the imagery down there, huh? It just seems perfect for a quote up here, though. But then if I stamped it in black up here, let's see, where would it reflect? I think it would reflect, it would have been reflective off the page down there. See, it would be in that area of reflection, but see, when someone's looking at it like that, so I don't want like an upside down word in here or, something like that. So that's why if I'm doing words on the main card like that, not in the reflection, I like to keep it kind of high. But it could be, I don't know, it could be something real simple like peace or something like that. But I do think that little tone up there helped this a lot up there. It kind of contained it a little bit more, making it a little bit darker in the corners like that too. So anyway, let's see. Crazy Cat Lady ordered sheets 6 through and 11. Crazy Cat, I have an entire, let me see, there are a gazillion lessons for set number 6 from about, God, I don't know. If you email me, I'll let you know, but it was from early to the 2021s. I did, I don't know, I must have done 20, I don't know, 15 lessons, I think, using Nature Set number 6. Because it was used in that Stamp Wars event on the Nancy Stamps channel. Did you see the fire tornado in Gorman today? No. Huh. In Gorman, huh? You're talking about Gorman, California, right? I think, let me see, is Gorman? All right, I'm starting to forget a lot of things. Gorman's where I think I used to drive through all the time when I was heading up to the Bay Area, right? Let's see. Let me see. I lost track here. Linda and KT, are you talking about the sky up there? What difference that made? That did make a big difference up there, huh? It was kind of, I don't know, it was all just uniform up there before. Now there's a little bit of depth to it. And it's just kind of, see, that's what's really nice about the Brilliance inks. You can get real smeary with it, but like I said, it's almost like you're kind of smearing around like shoe polish or something like that onto the surface. The good thing about it is that you can remove it. Here's the thing about me, here's the thing that I did today that was different. I wasn't using StazOn until fairly recently, so I wouldn't be able to smear that across the StazOn and then to remove it if I was doing that all with the Brilliance ink, because even when Brilliance ink is completely dry, it'll just wipe right off if you haven't heat set it. So yeah. Hello, Christine, good to see you. Yeah, we're all done here. This one went through a little bit of a change. I really changed up here from too busy of a bottom portion like that. I'm going to make this into a different scene here going forward. I'm going to put a horizon like right here. I'm gonna make this one into a horizon down here, and I'm gonna put a full moon like right here so that this little figure is like conjuring a full moon on the horizon, like that. I'll give you guys a little head start if you, I don't know if you're interested in that at all. But let's see. But this was going to be the bottom portion, so the only thing that you missed, Christine, is me spending a lot of time on this one. Not a lot of time, but a little bit of time, and then like totally changing up and disregarding it, which is one of the fun things about these mirror cards, you know, until you get it, you know, pasted down, you can change the different components around, you know, if you don't like that kind of idea that, you know, top portion or the bottom portion, then you just switch it out to something else. This portion right here got a little bit too busy with the palms with huts reflecting down into it like that. This would look good as a flat piece, you know, but as a reflective piece, it was a little bit too much. I gotta remember to go a lot more simple on these mirror cards in one portion or the other. All right, so that was a little bit more of a horizon like that. All right, like that. I still have it stamped up there, but let's see. Let's get rid of this little white area like that, and let's go with, let's take our moon type of scenario like this. I'll make a moon rise like this, and we'll just throw this down like so here. It's, you know, I don't know. I'm trying to make do here. Or make something out of nothing, maybe. It might, you know, I didn't say it wouldn't make something terrible out of something, you know, but it, I don't know. We can see, you know, we can see if we could salvage this a little bit. All right, let's see, where's it? I need a cotton ball again. Okay, so this is the moon right here. We can do. It's hard to get a real kind of layered, opaque version of this white pigment ink over the top. You have to do it in kind of layers. You have to kind of let it dry a little bit, and then try to apply another layer on the top of it without the bottom layer coming off, which happens a lot on these very non-porous surfaces. On cardstock, it's fine, but on the very non-porous surfaces, you know, there's this kind of fine line between addition and subtraction if these inks aren't set on there, you know. And I find with the Stays on White, the Stays on White, I just couldn't do it at all. It was almost like after I ink it up and I went like this, it was dry, so I really couldn't apply it very well. So anyway, so that's, you know, the way that this one will go, and I'll tweak it a little bit. I'll put a, you know, like more lighting around here or something like that where they stands out a little bit. So I don't know, for a future post, I'm not gonna do a video on that one like that, but I don't know, I'll see what I can come up with. But going back to this one, I don't know, let's see if we're done with this one right here or not. I was thinking about adding in a little bit of fog or something like that, maybe at the base. We'll see if we can tweak this a little bit more, maybe. Oh, bye to Linda there. Yeah, you guys got to check out Linda's sequential pieces. Adding a little bit of fog down here. So I like the shadows as far as the transition zone, but I like to kind of alter them slightly too, with a little bit of kind of mist or something like that. I mean, or it could be, you know, especially in water types of situations. So let me go like that. I'll manipulate that. I added a little bit too much, but again, Brilliance ink, you can kind of play around with it and just get the amount that you want down there like that. And then see if you like it in terms of the reflection area down there like that. So for me, it just kind of, what I did right there is I'm kind of softening up some of these. Everything right in here is fairly crisp and sharp, and sometimes I like that, or I often, if not always, like that little addition of textural changes, contrasts in a piece between sharp and soft. Okay, so something like that. I mean, it's just like this little minor thing like that down there, but I think it makes, you know, a little bit of a difference in that area at least. I don't know, I guess there's soft elements up here now too. I guess that, you know, that's what that sky did up there too. Everything was all crisp against this just blank piece of rainbow holographic, but now this area up in here looks a little bit softer with the use of that black smeary pigment ink up there like that. But anyways, there we have it like that. Look at this right here. Those changing colors like that going up there. And then of course they're reflected down in that bottom portion as well like that. It's like distortion, you know, if you kind of bend this around a little bit too. But the thing that I like about mirror cards is that kind of that parallax, you know, if you're looking down here, if you focus in on that area like that, and you have these foreground images going across those objects like that, like you would see, you know, that you would get if you were in a location like that. It adds that little kind of dimension to it, which is really fun. This area in here, I mean, I'm not going to do it here, but, you know, you can add like a, you know, like a moon like that would be kind of cool up there too, because it looks like it's, you know, those, you know, huts like that are kind of capturing some of that moonlight like that. If I did that, I would have to make it, you know, a little bit darker in the background, I think, for it to show up. But, you know, I'm not going to do that here, but you can do something like that. Or if you have the moon a little bit lower on the horizon, it could reflect down here in the water too. Maybe that's for the that blue, you know, foil piece up there. You can do like a moon that's lower there that would be reflecting right down here or something like that. Anyway, let's see. When you do the blocking, do you heat set? Yes, you do, Kay. You have to heat set the white. Otherwise, when you stamp over it with the other inks, it really has a chance of going with that black ink into the white one and then just kind of removing it off the page. And I haven't had a problem with that. And you know, and then when you're going in with that black ink impression, let me see, where did it go? Okay, so with these, when you're adding that white ink down here, and then you're blocking out that area, I added white all the way out here too, but just, you know, when I stamp the image out, you just kind of wipe that white off of those areas like that, you know, around on that area, you know, with the paper towel or something like that. But then when you go into that white ink, whether it's dry or wet, when you're stamping into it, make sure that your stamp that you're stamping into that white is reasonably juicy so that that ink is transferring over to that, because if what you're stamping into that white, I find, is drier or thinner than the ink that's already been applied, it might lift it off instead. So it's like dry stamping into something wet or that can be removed, you know. You want to have enough ink on that stamp that you're doing, like, you know, applying on there so it transfers over there, and, as opposed to lifting it up. Does that make sense? I don't know, I mean, this video is up there so you can see how that was done. And then what I did after that, after you stamp these images, I heat set it again, and then I go back into it with, you know, a cotton ball, and then I'm kind of fleshing in these images a little bit more, adding that shadow to it. So it's a series of, you know, application, heating, and then additional applications of ink, if, you know, if you want to do that. But yeah, this one. Um, the one thing, okay, so the one thing about this thing too is when you're going with just white and black, I don't have the options of adding in like the color that I did on this one onto those huts. So that's why I'm trying the cutouts now on imagery that's easy to cut out. I'm not going to spend time kind of cutting around certain types of imagery that's just going to be a pain in the butt to trim. But this one's, this one was really easy with those huts down there. And again, I don't, I'm not cutting out around solid imagery like, trees or something like that, solid forms like that. It's only the open forms that you would have to cut out in a scenario like this if you want to add colors like that. And plus, okay, so that being said, I don't have a bunch of colors of Brilliance ink either, so it has to be done on the cardstock for me. And plus, I don't know if you can, my camera doesn't focus in as easy as it was before, but I wanted to get in some additional textures into those forms with my colored pencils too. So, adding textures like that, if you want additional textures, then you'll have to go with something like, whatever cardstock is going to be conducive for that type of media and application. So I'm trying to get this kind of open in a way that'll, instead of me holding this down the whole time. But anyway, I'll just hold it. We're done here. Anyways, Froggy Fresh needs ice cream. Get rainbow sherbet after watching this scene right here. Let's see. Any other questions here? Stamp it in gold. Stamp what in gold? Sorry, Chris. I lost my track here. Don't touch the sky. I need all the lessons I can get. Yes, Gorman. Yeah. Okay. Man, I'll have to check that one out, Kay. Gosh, there's so many fires going on. I haven't even been keeping track of certain of these fires. Luckily, I don't think there's been too many fires in the Southern California. Knock on wood, down here in the San Diego area. Like, definitely in years past. Nothing like there hasn't been a huge fire season. Like I said, knock on wood, so many insurance companies are dropping people from renewal just due to, fire dangers. It used to be that if you were within a certain number of yards from open space, it was you were fine, and that proximity just keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller, like that. Let's see. Froggy Fresh, a Union Pacific big boy for his birthday. Then he went to the basement, and I haven't seen him since. Yeah. You mean an actual model railroad train? See, when I first started reading it, I thought you were talking about a Union Pacific big boy rubber stamp. What is Flickr, Kim? Flickr is kind of this antiquated photo sharing site. It was probably popular in, like 2000 to 2005 or 6 or something like that. I think they were affiliated with Yahoo. So it's just a photo sharing site, but, it was all photography, but people share what I post photos of my pieces now too. It's like a gallery or something like that, but it's not a closed system like Facebook or something like that, where you have to, the public would have to be a member of Facebook to log in to see people's postings, or like Instagram or something like that. I don't know. Can you see Instagram if you're not an Instagram member? I'm not sure. But Flickr is just for anyone. I mean, whoever posts on Flickr, you can make it private and only for members of Flickr, but you can just leave it open to the general public as well. But that's what that is. So that's, and then you're allowed a certain number. It used to be unlimited uploads free, but now there's a certain number of uploads that they allow. But it's still a significant amount if you're only uploading like photos of your cards or whatever. You can get a lot of cards up there before you have to pay for an account. And if you don't pay for an account, they just start removing some of your older uploads or something like that. But I gotta imagine if it's only photos and not like videos, you can probably post, I don't know, I have no idea, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was 1,000 uploads or something like that. Yeah. Froggy Fresh has mint chocolate chip. We'll have to have a scenic challenge, okay? And you'll have to stamp a scene out, and then we guess what flavor of ice cream your scene represents or something like that. So this one, like I said, would be, I think it would be rainbow sherbet. It'd be rainbow sherbet or bubblegum. Look at that right there. That's more like bubblegum right there, huh? And then I don't know what color that is, but look at this. See, I love these different little combinations like this. Now, I spent a little bit of time on this card. If I were to do this card again, though, and just remove out all my little experiments with this card would probably take, I think I can do this card in 20 minutes, no problem. And I can do it faster if I didn't do this little smeary area up top, That smeary area up top, I don't know, what it'd take, like 2 or 3 minutes or something like that. But this bottom portion like this is only the images stamped out there. And then this image of the palms with huts was stamped out in black, and then I stamped it again in, cardstock, and you're just coloring them in with colored pencils. I think I could do this card. I think this is a 20-minute card or something like that. I don't know. If you include the cutting out of the paper, this pre-folded, I just have this is a half-page piece of black, and I just scored it down the middle and folded it. But, oh, and by the way, people want to know, you just put your, greetings or something like this on the outside, or, you can put another type of thing up top here, for the outside of the card. But, okay, so that being said, when you're talking about all that, if you want all those different variations of color, like if someone was to do like a card like just even this top portion like this, okay, just on a white piece of paper, if they came up with a color scheme like that, up top like that with dye-based inks, which would take a lot of work, right? I mean, it would be really cool. I love it when people do that, but just doing this on top of the foil like that, on rainbow holographic that inherently has all those colors in there, and then not only that, this scene now has those colors like that. It has those colors and those color. Look at that. There's that Northern Lights, Chris. Right there. I think that color scheme like that. I've seen the green and pink color scheme in Northern Lights before in books. I mean, there's so many different personalities. Look at this. Like, I don't know. That even looks like Northern Lights kind of going across like on time lapse or something like that up there almost. But then, I just threw this on the bottom portion like this. So, it's kind of being, I don't know, it adds that extra layer of dynamics in both the top and bottom like that. And, something like that reflecting off that, and that's reflecting off that. I don't know, it makes for a pretty interesting little card. And if people, you guys, know this kind of setup right here, but if you posted something like this, and it doesn't have to be a scene or something like that, people will always, I think, wonder how you did it, and they'll think, oh my God, that's so hard, okay? But, I don't know. I think if someone looked at something like this and they didn't know how you did it, it might look hard to do, but, I don't know, it's just the paper's doing all the work. So, I mean, it's barely anything more than just stamping that image on, paper, and, everyone can do colored pencils or something like this, and this is just this down here, so, and look at all my smudgy fingerprints. But, I don't know, it's easy stuff. And again, I think a quote would be good up there. I'm just not quite sure of what quote I would put up there at this point in time now. if I want to do that. I kind of like it as is. All right, so anyways, yeah. Hello, Cheryl. Thanks for joining in. Good to see you. Jeannie, good to see you. We're done with the card here. Kind of a fun little type of tropical scene. I wanted to do another tropical kind of body of water scene because it's kind of humid, you know, at night and day. So I wanted to create kind of a cool type of a scene here. Okay, I'm gonna do something here. I just noticed something. See, that's what happens when I kind of stay on here. It's like, and I keep looking at the thing on all these live streams. It's like I keep wanting to do all these little types of tweaks like this. So we varied that top portion of the scene with that little bit of smudgy Brilliance ink on there. And I would have thought it was too light for that, but now that I'm kind of playing around and reflecting that light in there and looking at it more and more, I'm going to do a little bit of the splatter painted stars up there because I think it can handle kind of a little bit more texture and maybe represent, I don't know, a later time of day. So I'll just go with a little bit of it, like, okay, I don't know if you can see that like that. I barely put on any on there. If I want to put more, I'll put more. If I want like a larger star, then I'll just draw it in there with you know, the acrylic paint pen. But let's see if I can. Let's see if we can see it at all. Yeah, see that like that? I don't know. Now it looks more Northern Lighty with a, you know, that little bit of splatter painting up there, like that. But that, see that right down there, that horizon is really light like that, where I didn't apply any of that. The Brilliance black down there, so I don't know. It's a little bit more varied like that. So anyways, thanks Chris for mentioning the Northern Lights. You know, if Chris is still on, he gave me the you know, idea to go smudgy up top. Smudge. So smudge away. So doesn't look. See, that looks like a little different time of day. Then I just kind of tweak it like that. Doesn't that look like? I don't know. It looks like sunset and twilight like that. Look at that. It looks. That looks more dramatic just by changing the card around just a little bit like that, you know, than something like that. I don't know. It's like the time of day changes or something. All right. So if any of you have, you know, the Recollections Rainbow Holographic and some gold foil, I think it's a pretty dynamic combination to use for, you know, these mirror types of cards, scenarios like that. The Rainbow Holographic's like really inexpensive. I think I bought mine for like I think it calculated it was like $3.30 or some odd cents back when it was, I think it was buy one, get one free even, or something like that at Michael's, and it's for a 25 pack of 8.5 by 11, you know. So what is that? That's like 100 of these, you know, backgrounds for like $3. Nowadays it's like buy one, get one half off or something like that. And then the gold foil, you know, gold foil, you can use it for a lot of different things, not just mirror cards, you know. The gold foil's, you know, great for Christmassy types of things or just mounting or something like that. You can stamp like your ornaments, you know, and like these smaller types of pieces. I have a bunch of like small ones like this, and I stamp a scene out or a stamp out like on an angle like this, and I just punch a little hole in there. You know, you can hang, you know, it could be like a little ornament or something like that. But I don't know. I think I'll be using some of these types of combinations like this and experimenting around a little bit more going forward. But I really like this combination. I don't know if this is my favorite combination, but I don't know. It might be like that. I do like blue cardstock or whatever on silver foil a lot too, like that deer one with that blocking out that I showed you. I like that one a lot, with like a full moon or something like that in the sky. But I don't know, that those changing colors like that are you know, they give you a lot for not having to do very much onto it like that. So, Superman ice cream. I don't know that. Yeah, okay, yeah, this is going to be a really fast card. So I fumbled around with a couple things, you know, to make it not so fast like a live stream here, but we can definitely create something like this really fast. And I want to do some more of the photo stamping pieces too. Those ones go like really fast. I don't know if I could do a 10-minute card, but maybe, you know, if you're just going like, you know, background of clouds, glue, you know, foil down here, glue, and then just, you know, 1 or 2 impressions like that with a quote stamp down there, you know. But that could be really fun too, just in terms of the simplicity of it. Verna, thanks for joining in. Yeah, we're just kind of wrapping it up here on this one right here. Rainbow holographic foil up top. Gold foil down below. Okay. And mirror card type of, you know, formatting right there for a really dynamic, I think a pretty dynamic little surface like this, you know, in really a simple way. So you post things like this and you get comments like, you know, by some people, I would never be able to do that. You know, I don't know if it's because they just don't, you know, but they're talking about in terms of their ability, usually, unless they're referring to, I'd never be able to do that because it's so ugly. But I'm always trying to convince people, hey, you know, it's not that hard, you know, it's just you have to use the right media combinations or something like that. And, you know, something like this would be simple enough. So, yeah. All right. So anyways, yeah, thanks for, you know, suggesting smudgy techniques, you know. So think about smudgy techniques like that. But isn't that fun there, too? You know, working on foils like that and just being able to play around with that. That would normally be seen as a weakness of not being able to, you know, applying something and having it smear or wipe off. But then, you know, if you get kind of situations like that in terms of your media and surface combination or compatibilities like that, like this right here, the fact that it doesn't dry and it could smear, you can take advantage of that type of thing by using whatever smeary types of techniques for something that looks good smeared. We don't want all those trees smeared down there. But, you know, when you come down to something like a sky, then take advantage of those things that would otherwise be seen as, like I said, like a hindrance or a weakness, and use it to your advantage like that. And then you really take advantage of all those different types of media combinations that are out there, and not just ones that, you know, you can dip into those types of things that maybe you've tried, or even that you've heard that can't work. Okay, and you got to think about, well, why can't it work? Well, it's because it does this. And then you can think about, you know, ways to utilize it instead of it being kind of a hindrance or something that's preventative, you know, from getting maybe one type of look, but it'll give you a different type of look there. So yeah, and I don't know, just play around with it. So again, thanks again for joining in here. And I'm trying to look at this right here. Even in this camera type of setting right here, where this is kind of raised and this is kind of blurry like this, and things are like in the distance that are kind of crisper like that, that kind of plays around with distance, where you have things kind of more out of focus, you know. It's like depth of field in here. So with these mirror types of things, you can kind of play around with that depth of field a little bit like that. But look at that. That's not a good look right here. Let's get a better color up there. There's a better color. Isn't that nice when you can have a card, and if it doesn't look good a certain way, you go like that, and you say, oh, I want a better look, and you just have to change it by a degree like that, or a couple of degrees. Look at that rainbow, like right here, that's coming across this way, and this one at this angle. Oh, there we go. And we don't have to color it. It's just already there. You just, instead of, if you don't get a color that you want, you just go like that. But yeah, so if you don't have them, there are the possibilities like that, and you can decide if you like to, play around with that rainbow holographic. Luckily, it's one of those types of papers too that are readily available practically anywhere. I don't know if it's available overseas or internationally or something like that, but I don't know. At least out here, Recollections is available or something like that. Yeah. All right. Goodbye, Jeannie. Thanks, Christine, Debbie, KT. We'll see you hopefully on the next live stream. Anyone that's still on, thanks for joining in and checking out the live stream and this video here. If you have any questions or comments, if you try this out, drop me a note. Or if something's not going right, take a photograph of it and send me an email.